Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's everybody out there doing tonight? A few stories to start with, but thank you to everyone who left comments on my last video. Uh, Thank you to everyone in the WhatsApp group who left private messages about my health. I really appreciated everyone, but I'm doing a lot better. You know, you got issues when you disabled veteran, you're gonna have setbacks, you're gonna have issues. So it happens. It happens. But I'm glad to be here among the living. I'm glad things are looking in the right direction. I just got to stick to a plan that I have and move forward from there. All right. So tonight, let's get started. The first thing I want to cover tonight is suicide prevention. This is still a large problem in the veterans community, right? Now, for those of you who don't know the numbers to call, and I want to be clear when I say this, you don't have to call that number if you're just in distress. You can call that number if you just want someone to talk to. Like if you're lonely out there, and I'm being real when I say this, if you're lonely out there, you don't have anyone that you can confide in, that you can talk to, and you just want to vent, you can call that 800 number and just vent your frustration. Even if you don't want to use the Department of Veterans Affairs number, in your city, in your town, there's a hotline number you can call to get help. You don't have to go it alone. Okay. Suicide is a serious problem in the veteran community. There's veterans out there who just feel like they cannot get over the hump. And I do understand, especially when you're dealing with a lot of health issues, things never seem to go right. There's always one issue you resolve, there's another issue that pops up from it, right? And then you may have things external going on while you're trying to deal with internal pain. I get it. I get it. And one of the ways that I vent my frustration, man, is I get out and I do something, or I'll talk to the friends that I have, or I'll call family, or I'll speak to some of the people in the WhatsApp group, right? But there's always ways, man, to get help. Never think that you can't get help, that nobody cares about you, that nobody wants to take the time to talk to you. You know, they may not get right back to you right away, but just be a little patient, because you don't know what people are doing or what they're going through. But just know you're not alone. You're never alone in this fight. Never. Never. So don't give in. Don't give up. You may not know it, or you may not feel like it, but there are people out there who really care about you, who really love you, who really want to be with you. And you should never think that they don't. You know that one saying, they don't miss you till you're gone? Well, people will miss you. You may not feel like they're going to miss you, but they're going to miss you. They truly are. Especially if you're like the head of the family, that's the last thing that should be on your mind, is issues like that, and thinking of harming yourself or harming someone else. That should be the last thing on your mind. Sometimes you have to step away, give some time, take yourself out of the situation if it's a bad situation, for an hour or two, or even a day, just to clear your head, right? Get a new perspective and then come back in. But suicide is never the way. Never the way. Okay? You got to think about the people behind you, because when you do something like that, young people see that and they think that's a way out of whatever situation is going on. My dad did it. My uncle did it. My aunt did it. They don't have no more problems now. So maybe this is a way for me to get rid of my problems. That's never the way to do it. Every time I have a bad moment, guys, I always think about the people in my life and what would happen if all of a sudden I just disappeared or went away and wasn't there to see that first step, or see those first moments, or just to talk to them when they have issues, whether it's life or dating or anything, right? So I try to focus more on the positive side than on the negatives, because there's always negative stuff going on. There's always stuff going on in our life that the world may never see, because nobody's situation is perfect. Nobody. You know, we all come on with a smile and we all put our best face forward. And we always want to project ourselves as being, you know, everything is hunky-dory, everything is beautiful. But that's not everybody's situation. And in most times, you know, we always masking things that we have going on legitimately in our life, in our family, with our friends. But just be honest about it. You know, everybody's got to talk to somebody at some point, or needs to talk to somebody at some point, I would hope, instead of trying to take it in your own hands. All right. So that's what I wanted to say right now when it comes to suicide prevention. You know, if you have somebody who's reaching out to you, they're reaching out to you for a reason. And if you can help your fellow veterans, try to help your fellow veterans. You know, if you know someone who's not even a veteran and they're in a bad situation like that, try to help people, right? Because you never know when it may be you in that same situation, and you would want somebody to help you, I would hope. Okay? All right. Now moving on to something a little bit lighter, the ASVAB test, right? So they're debating whether or not to add a calculator to the ASVAB test. I'm curious to know what you guys think about that, right? So who was this? The DOD. They're debating right now on whether to add a calculator to all recruits who taking that test now. Boy, has things changed, huh? Now they get to use a calculator. We couldn't even use a scrap piece of paper. And now they get to use a calculator. Totally different, man. I'm curious to get you guys' opinion on that. One other thing that happened that I wanted to bring up in social media. Now we got paratroopers filming themselves as they do their jump. My man had a bottle of water like this using his cell phone and had a fish in the bottled water as he jumped and put it out on social media. Of course, they saw it. Of course, he's getting punished. But it's like, damn, dog, we've gotten to the point where we got soldiers trying to get more views, clicks, and likes by putting a fish in bottled water and jumping. Paratrooper. Okay. You know, that's wow. I don't know what else to say about that one, man. That is insane. But anyway, shout out to the Colorado Buffaloes today. I really want to thank them for what they were able to pull off. It helped me tremendously. You guys will never know. I'm not going to broadcast how much I ended up making off that game, but let's just say I had a great day today. Colorado was a 21-point underdog. I believe the spread at one point was 840-1. That's how bad they thought Colorado was going to be. Colorado isn't that bad of a team, man. They turned out to be a lot better. And I watched a lot of the social media around the football team from Deion Jr., which is Well Off Media, his cousin Darius, which is Reach the People's Media, and this guy named Neely that they brought from Jackson State. His is called The Pregame Show. I watched all their stuff besides watching Shador and Shallow when they put videos out when they got time. And guys, I got to tell you, I knew they were going to be pretty good from the practice. I knew the defense was going to be their weakest part, but I knew their offense was legit. I knew that from watching YouTube videos that they made about their practice. So I decided to take a chance while my cousin was in Vegas for the Labor Day weekend. I talked to him into putting in a couple bets for himself and me, and it paid off. They ended up winning today 45-42. I was just as happy. He was just as happy as they were when they won today. So that was awesome. That was awesome. All right. Now, does anybody have any comments? I know we're coming on later than we normally start, but yeah, there's still games going on right now as we speak or as I speak. So if there's any questions you guys have, go ahead and leave a question. I'm waiting to see if anybody's going to jump on to the link tonight. Let me make sure I'm broadcasting because that's kind of weird. No one has said anything. Make sure I can be heard. And can somebody leave me something real quick just to let me know people can actually see and hear me? Hold up. And can somebody leave me? Okay, so yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm on live. All right, cool. Oh, wait, I didn't check to see if you guys could leave a comment. That is highly unusual. I don't have no comments. Okay, thank you, Mr. Steele. I appreciate it. Yeah, that is highly unusual because normally Barry or T-Mix or somebody would say something. But like I said, I know we're coming on a lot later, or I'm coming on a lot later than I normally would at 8. But football season, man, you know, people are distracted watching the games. I know I was earlier. I was deep into watching the football games, man. Colorado started out early, and that got me going for the whole day. So I'm feeling great. Not gonna lie. Okay. A little bit of news about here. I'm not talking about Medellin. I'm just talking about here overall. Okay. I'm just talking about here overall. So you guys hear a lot of things about here, right? But I see from the news that they kind of pick and choose what stories they want to put in the news. So for anyone who's looking at traveling to this country, okay, I want to make you aware that there are people now posing as taxi drivers, as Uber drivers, and as Rappi. Listen to what I'm saying. They're posing as Uber drivers, taxi drivers, and Rappi. And what they're doing is people will either hail them down, and there's no way to really tell who's who. Okay? They can get a taxi from somebody with stolen plates on it, and they cannot track who it is. But they'll get in a car, they'll go to local spots where a lot of these tourists are, get a tourist in the car, pull into an alley, 2 more people jump in the back with the tourist, if it's 1 or if it's 2, whatever the case may be, pull guns on them, get all their stuff. Even if you have an iPhone, okay, they're going to force you to open that iPhone either with Face ID or your PIN. Android, they're just going to take your fingerprint and put it on because they're going to have a gun to your head doing this. There's been many stories out there already explaining this, okay? That's real. That is real. Not trying to scare you. I'm just letting you know what is real here. Another one that is real that doesn't get talked about that much is finding people who are chopped up in a bag. Like they'll put them in a trash bag, a healthy bag, or some kind of sack. So that was a foreigner. You probably haven't heard this story yet, but it's going to come out. There was a foreigner that they found chopped up in a bag, stuck in front of the police station. This is real. And the reason why I'm saying this, man, is because even though there are grown people out there who are going to do what they do, I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to the sensible people who are just trying to come here to see what it looks like and what it's like to be here. Be careful. Those other people out there, I'll let the devil deal with them because they're going straight to hell. But for everybody else who ain't in that world, you're just visiting like a normal person. Be careful. Be careful. Color doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter. Whatever your size is, doesn't matter. None of that matters. Okay? So just be careful. That's all I can tell you. Because there ain't no point of telling you don't wear this or don't bring this or don't. It doesn't matter. If you are in a particular tourist area and you happen to get into the wrong cab or the wrong Uber, or you order Rappi, you go to meet your Rappi driver, and it just so happens to be the wrong Rappi driver. It is what it is. That's all I can tell you. All right. Now, other than that, does anyone else have any questions? Status, how you doing? How's everybody else out there doing tonight? Because I know a lot of people don't know about this and they're not going to explain this to you. And it's not to scare people, but it's to give you the truth. I'd rather somebody tell me the truth than tell me a lie that everything is great. You get out here and you get jacked up based upon a lie somebody told you. I don't do that. I refuse to do that. I'd rather tell you what is real and what is fake. And that is very real. Very real. Most recent as last night, real. You know, the story that you're hearing about now about this guy in Poblado, we knew about that the day it happened. Like right after it happens. Because the one thing about Medellin, I can tell you this firsthand. The one thing about Medellin, there ain't no secrets here, dog. None. If you know someone here, they know a lot of people here and their friends know other people here. So if you want to find out something about somebody, it ain't that hard. All you got to do is ask. You have a photo and ask. Somebody knows something. Or if they don't, they'll find somebody who knows something. That's how easy it is here. What's going on, LJ? How you doing? So as you guys probably saw earlier, my man Mike put a video out. He's back in the Dominican Republic for a while. He's probably sleeping right now. I had a chance to talk to him earlier. So he's feeling good. I know some of you guys were a little concerned about him and the video he put out about his last time having dinner in Mexico for a while. That's because he's just changing locations. I know some of you guys were worried, man, but Mike has talked about doing that for a while. That's not new. And I know some of you guys are like, wait, man, what's going on? What is he talking about? Well, there are some things behind the scene, guys, that when we talk to each other, like some of us in that WhatsApp group, this veterans, we'll kind of share things or ideas that we have with each other, and we don't really tell it to the world. Like we don't put it out publicly. Mike honestly has been talking about doing this for a couple of years now. It's not new. Just like some of the things that I talk about with Howard. Like if I all of a sudden just was somewhere completely different and you guys like, wow, you just up and took off? No. I've been talking to Howard. I've been talking to Mike. I've been talking to Jay Love, Urban Globetrotter, Big Moose. Several people know, right? It's just that it wasn't out there publicly for everybody to know. So that's kind of like what happened with Mike. It may seem like all of a sudden Mike just made this move, but this is something Mike had been talking about for a minute. You know, there's some of you guys who are concerned about, well, he's giving all this stuff away. That's like a sign that you might hurt yourself or something like that. No, it's just, I went through the same thing myself. Wow, this has been a minute. When did I get rid of all my stuff? Wow. I guess it would have been like 4 years ago now, when I decided I was going to move here full time and I was done doing the back and forth. I went back to the States. I got rid of the Beamer, the Camaro, the truck, the motorcycles, the place, a bunch of clothes, a bunch of shoes, got rid of all of it because I didn't want to do the back and forth anymore. And that's essentially what Mike is doing, right? I was trying to take care of 2 houses. I was trying to take care of a house here, and I was trying to take care of a house in the States. And that wasn't going to work. Well, I made it work for like 2 or 3 years. And then I just realized that I like being here more than I like being in the States. after being here for a while. So I made a decision to get my visa and to live here full time. Like all the material thing, guys, like if that stuff goes away, it's not like you can't get that stuff back. There's nothing that I had that I couldn't get back. What is a car? Hell, you ain't even got to have good credit to get a car. Your credit could be 100. There's so many places out there you can get a car in the States. It's ridiculous. So getting a vehicle is nothing in America. Clothes, shoes, that stuff is easy to obtain. Motorcycles, all that kind of crap, dude, easy to obtain, right? The hard thing to obtain is peace of mind, freedom, financial freedom, and peace of mind. Those are hard to obtain. And if you're lucky enough to be one of those people out there that have both, I congratulate you. But that is something hard to maintain, is peace of mind, man. I know sometimes I'll have a lot of stuff and I'll show a lot of stuff on my other channel. But the thing that a lot of you guys don't know is I get that stuff away. I don't keep it. I'll get it. I'll review it. If I like it, I may hold on to it for a little while. But the vast majority of the time, I'm giving it to somebody else who probably really needed it. Here's something that I do that a lot of you guys don't know, right? It's like I like tech and I'll get stuff and I'll try it. And let's say I meet someone and their child's going to school. This is a real story. And their child is going to school. And all they got is a broken cell phone. Well, it ain't quite broken, but the screen is all destroyed on their cell phone, right? And they're like, yeah, they're going to school and they're having to take notes and they use the internet and they got to do this on their phone. And I'm looking at their phone going, oh, how the hell are you reading this and your screen is all cracked up like that? Well, I can't afford to get them another phone, or I can't afford to get them a tablet, which they really need, right? So what do? Well, I'm like, all right, well, I wanted to review this tablet anyway. So let me buy this tablet, review it, keep it for a little while, maybe a week or two, and then I'll give it to them. And you're like, well, why would you spend money on something like that to give to somebody's child? Because somebody did that for me once. I'm just returning the favor. I did the same thing in the States. I'm just returning the favor. What was I going to do with that money? Let me tell you what I would have done with it. It was only $135. Blow it in a casino. Blow it in a casino, or I don't know, blow it on something that I didn't need. You know, I found that helping other people gives me joy instead of me being selfish. Seeing that somebody's in need that needs help, I'm in a position to help them. Why not help them? I did the same thing everywhere I've ever been. In the States, when I was running my company, I used to see people on the street. I would buy myself a meal and then buy them a meal and have them either go in and get it or I would hand it to them outside. It doesn't take much, man, to be a kind human being, to give back. It doesn't take a whole lot. And to me, it doesn't matter color, race, all that stuff doesn't matter to me. They're human beings. I always look at it like if that was me, I would hope someone would help me in the same position. So that's why I do what I do here. Not that I'm trying to get sympathy or trying to seem like I'm holier than thou and any of that, but it's just trying to be a good person, man. Just trying to be a better person. I think we need a little bit more of that in this world. It isn't always about who's got the most, who got the newest and the greatest. How about just helping somebody out with something sometimes, right? I try to help veterans as much as I can with information that I know about the Department of Veterans Affairs or information that I know about these third-party services that are here, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. And I don't know everything. There are some things and I get information from Mr. B or Barry or Mr. Steele or Mike, Howard, J Love, Warrior, Wally. I'm trying to think of who else is in the group. K-Mac, Who am I leaving out? Mr. Miles, Big Moose, Urban Globetrotter. I mean, I get information and stuff tagged to me all the time from different people about what may happen with this bill and what this proposal may be, and different things that the Department of Veterans Affairs is working on and coming up with. You know, I always try to do my best to help who I can help. That's it. That's all. That's the best way I know how to be, man. That's it. You know, but it does me no good, man, to sit here and try to be selfish or not try to help someone when it may be me on the other end that needs help. And they remember, you helped me when I had nothing. Because you never know who you may need later on in life. As we get older, we're going to need more help. As you get older, you're going to need somebody to help you. Nobody's going to want to help an asshole. You've been an asshole to people your whole life. You ain't going to find too many people that want to be around you. That's real. I'm not saying that you got to give people stuff just for them to be around you, but sometimes we have so much coming from the United States that we don't realize the things that we take for granted, that we look at like, I can get one of those anytime I want. Somebody else out there will be glad to take whatever's left over that you got. That's real. What's going on, Mr. Lawson? How you doing? Love your brother. Absolutely. We always appreciate your help as always, Markel, and your speaking facts. Well, I'm just trying to be real, man. I know a lot of times we'll get on here and we'll joke and we'll talk about different things, right? But I think tonight is the opportunity, man, for me to like just share a little bit with you guys. And the question of, okay, so you've been there so long, what keeps you here? What keeps me here is more than anything is the family dynamics, the way it is here, which is much different than the way I grew up in the States. Like I had the kids in the States and I talk to them all the time on FaceTime. We talk almost every morning. Usually in the evening before I go to bed at night, they want to make sure I'm okay. But family here is so much different than anything I've ever experienced in America, that they make you feel like, even though you didn't grow up with them and been around them your whole life, they make you feel like you have because you may not know everybody's name, right? But everybody seems to know who the hell you are. Everybody. People I've never met in my life know my name. They know something about me from watching YouTube. It's normally not this channel, it's my other channel, right? And people get to explain different things, right? So I remember going to see a family member of my girl once, and I went in as normal, not trying to, have a whole bunch of stuff on. Didn't even have my best phones with me. Didn't have the watch on. None of that, right? Just tried to be basic. What I perceive to be basic in America. The thing is here, nothing that we have on going to some of these barrios is basic. Nothing. When I say basic, I mean, I got like $100 watch on. I had this little necklace on, regular clothes, and probably a $120 pair of Nikes. That's not basic to people here. That's something, dude, that's not easily obtainable for a lot of people here. There are a lot of people that see that, man, and they go, you rich. You may not have $20 in your pocket, but to them, you're rich. It gives you a whole different perspective in life when you coming from America. Think that the things that you have are just not as valuable. To you, they're not. But to others who have never experienced it, it's worth a lot. It's worth a lot. What's up, Gary? How you doing? So I'm just saying all, man, to say, let's try to treat each other better. Let's try to be kind to each other. Let's try to help each other in times of need. But one thing I'm not telling you all to do, though, is just like reach out to family members and friends who only call you during the holidays. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that, right? Like, I'm all for helping people, but I ain't all for helping selfish people. Like, even the people that I help here occasionally, bro, they'll do stuff for me. I don't expect. Last year for my birthday, they threw me a big party. I wasn't expecting that. They all pulled their money together just to give me a party. Right? I mean, they got pride here, dude. They may not, some of these people may not have a lot, but they gonna do what they gotta do. Right? And I respect that and I appreciate that. I just try to reciprocate the feeling that they give me. I try to reciprocate it back. And that's just being as real as I can be. All right, guys. So I guess tonight we're not going to have anybody on. Like I said, the football games are still going. I actually have one in a mini screen on my laptop right now that's still going that I'm checking the score on because I do have a wager on this one as well. But I'm not going to hold you guys all night since it's just me. But I just wanted to share those things with you guys, man, because I know, some of you guys see us abroad and you think we're just living the best life possible. For some people, it is. For me, it's a pretty good life here. I'm not going to lie and tell you that I'm not having fun, that I'm not enjoying myself and my time here. But I know at some point I'm going back to the States because I miss the United States. There might be people out there that call it all kind of names, and that's cool. That's the way they feel about it. But I know how I feel. I know that I would never be where I am right now if I wasn't from America. I don't know how everybody's situation is in America. I don't know what your living situation was. I don't know what your community situation was. But mine wasn't that bad, to be honest with you. I didn't have problems, right? I wasn't out. I'm not somebody that's like in clubs, in the bars, in the streets like that. When I go out at night, I'm going somewhere on a purpose. Like I'm going to the movies. I'm not going to get drunk. I don't drink. I don't do drugs. So that was never something that I had an issue with or worried about getting a DUI or different things like that. I was never into those things. But I just see that a lot of times here, the habits that we have in the States or some have in the States, they bring those habits here. There's never a good thing when you're not somewhere where you're familiar with or people who could help you out with a situation, right? Especially if you're traveling alone and you like to drink or you like to do other things that have you not as even keel as you normally would be, bad combination. And it usually doesn't end well. But that's going to be it for tonight, man, I guess. Again, I don't have any guests coming on, I guess, because everybody's still watching the game. Like I said, I'm watching one right now. I got a wager on. So I'm going to give it a few seconds here or a few 15 seconds or more for someone to leave a question if they have one. I will try to put out another video tomorrow. And then later this week, I want to put out a video. Matter of fact, let me talk about it real quick so I don't have to do a video and see if anybody leaves a question or comment. But TDIU, okay? I do want to say this about TDIU. Hola, Markel. Glad that you. Hey, I appreciate that, Sarge. Let me say this about TDIU, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. Forgive me, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, TDIU is one of those things where you either hear about it, someone that you know has it, or somebody is recommending it to you, right? And TDIU can be a great thing for veterans who are truly disabled, who are unable to sustain any type of job due to their current disabilities. Okay? Let's be clear about that. You truly disabled, you cannot work a full-time job, you're having difficulty, whether it's mentally or physically, I get it. TDIU is a great thing for you. No doubt about that. It is great for you. However, there are some of you who get TDIU because some lawyer suggested that you get it, or some advocate group, or some person who may be a consultant or a coach or whatever it may be, telling you to get TDIU, telling you that you're going to get this $3,600. What they're not telling you is you're going to be limited on anything else you can do as far as money goes, unless it's passive income. You see, what happens is I'm a coach. I'm a counselor, not a counselor. I'm a coach, or I'm a advisor, or whatever these people call themselves, with these contracts for these veterans because they're telling them they're going to get these benefits. Or I'm a lawyer. What do they get for the percentage? What percentage do they get of your check when you get money back? 10%, 15%, 20%? I don't know what percentage, because I've never used them. So I don't know what percentage they're charging veterans, other than the stories that I saw where they're scamming veterans. But I'm just going to say that they get 10% of what you get. Let's say you get a back pay, or you could potentially get a back pay of $40,000. They're going to get $40,000. They're going to get $4,000 for simply writing up a letter for something you could have done, so they can collect $4,000 of your money and put you on TDIU, something that a lot of veterans out there are on that they shouldn't be on. Now, why do I say that? Because there's not a week, and I promise you, there's not a week that goes by that somebody on TDIU does not ask the same question. How much money can I make while I'm on TDIU? If you got to ask me how much money you can make on TDIU, you ain't that disabled. Because that tells me you can work. You just need to know how much can you work and how much can you make. Because people who are TDIU that are truly disabled are not worried about working. They can't work. It's only the people who say, well, I need to make extra. Okay, let's make it simple. Tell them you no longer need TDIU. Go out and get a job. Go out and get 2 jobs. Go out and get a job, part-time job. Make as much money as you want to make and not have anybody watching you. Nobody cares what you do. Not a soul. They can put your social in all day. Who cares? You 80%, 90%, you collecting $2,000. You got a regular job making as much money as you want to make. But the problem is you all have let people fool you into signing up for something that's got you stuck. It's cool to get that 38, what is it? 3,800 a month, 38, 36, whatever the hell it is. And you ain't doing nothing but waking up. You getting 36. It's 2023. That 36, especially if you marry with 2 or 3 kids, that ain't enough, dog. Ain't enough, especially if you in any major city out there and you paying rent and car payment, car insurance, life insurance, health insurance, plus you got to feed them, give them clothes, and put them in school. Dog, that ain't enough in 2023. That's why a lot of you guys ask, okay, well, how much can I make? Tell you what you do. Give it back and go make as much as you can. Give it back. Go to voc rehab. Go to school. Get you a part-time job while you're in school. I guarantee you're going to have more money than you would just being on TDIU. Then when you get done with school, go get you a job. Go have a full career. You ain't got to worry about whether or not somebody's watching you and worried about how much you're making. This the part I don't get with you guys on TDIU. You make yourselves stuck. $20% of back pay only. Okay. So damn, they charge 20%. Tedium was, I don't know what you mean by that, Gary, but 20, wow, man, 20%, geez. So if you get 50,000, they're getting 10,000 of your 50,000. Okay. Wow. I'm in the wrong business. I'm in the wrong trade, man. Wow, 20%? Holy crap. Okay. I didn't know it was that much. I thought it might have been 5 or 10, something like that. But 20%, yeah, that's a nice little chunk of change. But do you guys understand what I'm saying, though? Being real, do you all understand what I'm saying? If you are truly disabled, TDIU is the best thing probably for you. But if you got to ask, you out there doing a bunch of side hustles, you out there risking whatever just so you can get extra to make it through the month. Come on, dog. You out there working on your car every week, cutting your own grass every week, out doing whatever every week. Come on, man. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. There's some of you guys, man, y'all probably watch YouTube 8-10 hours a day. Well, hell, you can watch a computer screen 8-10 hours a day and make real money instead of making peanuts. Because what VA disability amounts to, about $22 an hour, 22, somewhere in there. In 2023, that's poverty. Don't hate to play. I hate the game. Okay, Mr. Lawson. I'm just being real, man. In today's society, right? It's like, come on, man. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to be real. I'm always trying to be real with you guys and let you know where I am and what I'm thinking. Because I was thinking of going back to the States, right next year. I was actually trying to plan it for next year, but that's not going to work next year. But I was thinking of moving either to Miami, Florida, or San Diego, California. Well, with all the storms going on in Florida, you know, because the proximity is so close, Florida, man, no, I'm going to have to take Florida off the list. Because, hell, I might as well be in Puerto Rico with all that's going on in Florida. So San Diego is the first choice. And then I started looking at Austin, Texas. And because I'm always looking at like airports, getting back and forth, because I'm still going to have a life here as well. But when it comes to cost of living in California, guys, and I'm looking at it like, okay, I'm renting an apartment in Cali. Let's say I'm in La Jolla, Mission Valley. What's the other one called? Pomona? Is it Pomona? Or something like that. They were around 25. We talking studio up to about 35 for a 2-bedroom. Okay, 35 a month. If I'm on 100%, I can't afford that. I can't afford that, dog. Just keeping it a buck. I'm saying in California. I didn't say in your hometown of Kentucky, Oklahoma, you in some back alley or some backwoods. I'm not talking about that. I said San Diego and La Jolla. I can't go there like that. So what do I have to do? I have to have money available for me to live on. Because if you're 100%, that's pretty much your whole check is just going toward rent. That's it. And then if you ain't got nothing else coming in, you screwed. That's not going to be me. Right? So I looked at it like this. I would need at least close to $100,000 a year minimum to move to where I want to go in La Jolla. So I'm making moves to make sure that even if something happens, like there's a government shutdown, there's a virus that hits the U.S. government system and it shuts the system down for a while, I'm trying to make sure I got money extra over here to cover this if something happens over here. That's my thinking. I'm thinking down the road. I'm not thinking right now. Right now, I'm fine to go. I could go tomorrow. I'm absolutely fine in Cali. I'll make it in San Diego, La Jolla, California all day, every day. I'm good. Buy a car the next day when I get there. I'm good. But on this side, I'm trying to make sure this side can cover everything in case something happens over here with this government money. See, I don't think people actually take time and think about that when they live abroad. Like nothing can never happen to this government money over here, which is why you always want money over here to cover in case something goes wrong. You know, the way I live here, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I live here strictly on my VA check. I never touch Social Security. I never touch YouTube. I never touch any of my investment money, saving it all. I live here strictly on VA. I have no debt, zero debt, no credit card debt, no car payments, nothing. I have no debt, none. So when it comes to me living over here, and you got to remember now, I'm in the middle part of the SMC category. So I'm not the 36, 30. No. Hell no. I couldn't do what I'm doing here. That's all I was getting, dog. That's why I told you all a long time ago. South of the border, I'm not leaving the U.S. less than $5,000 minimum. That should give you an idea of pretty much where I am. But above that, okay? That's where I am with that, with the VA, alone. And that's what I live on here, alone. And I can do anything and everything I want to do just on that one check, while all these other checks over here are stacking. Now, I'm not telling you that so you can move abroad and try to do what I'm doing. I'm just trying to explain to you that in 2023, 36, 38, that ain't a lot. Even here, that ain't a lot. Now, I know y'all gonna find that hard to believe, but it's not. I just had my landlord come by today. I paid my rent, okay? My landlord was explaining to me, because I've been in this same apartment over 4 years, I pay the lowest amount in this building, other than Colombians. I pay the lowest amount. Everybody else who moves in this building pays $500 to $800 more than I do for the exact same place. No different. Exact same layout, exact same square footage, fully furnished, utilities included, $500 to $800 more, depending on the landlord. So just think for a moment. If I'm only paying $750 and you paying $800 more than I'm paying, you paying $1,550 for the exact same spot. How many of you all out there got a mortgage that's $1,550? And that's on the low end. That's for a 1-bedroom. So imagine what a 2 or 3 bedroom is going to cost you here in the Poblado area. Now, if you want to go live in the hood and take your chances in the hood, hey, that's on you. Whoever that guy was with that $1,500, living God knows where in whatever God knows situation, you know, you want to pay $130, $200, more power to you, dog. But I know what you in. I've seen that. I've been around that. I've been in that. I know what that is. And ain't no in hell I'm leaving America for that. Look, they could have 20 women in there. I'm not living in that kind of situation, dog. No, ain't happening. But I will say this, so we're clear. There's a huge difference between living in the city of Medellin and living an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours outside of Medellin. If you are in the city of Medellin and all you got 3,000 and under, now you're going to struggle. But if you got 1,500 and you living in Maranilla, or you living in St. Helena, or you living in Carmen de Borrell, oh, yeah, you live like a king. I'm not going to take that away from nobody. If you want to live in those barrios, hour and a half, 2 hours outside the city, and all you got is $1,500, and you saying you living like a king, I got no argument. None. Can't argue with you. Been to all of them. Hell, I can go there with $700 and live like a king. That's how easy it is outside the city of Medellin, outside the city of Bogota. That's whole different situations. Completely different. Hell, you can rent a farmhouse, a finca. Ladies and gentlemen, this is no bullshit. You can rent a finca outside the major cities, up in the mountains, 5, 6, 7 bedrooms, $550, $600 a month. Pool, everything. But you up in the mountains, you ain't around nothing close, but you got a badass place. That's for sure. Yo, man, look, they got stuff here up in the mountains y'all would not believe. Bro, they got some plush ass penthouses, some plush ass farmhouses straight up in the mountains. Hour and a half out, 2 hours out, straight up a hill. Ain't but 3 ways to get there. Walk, horse, ATV. Motorcycle never make it up there. They got some bad shit here. Can't lie to you. Off the chain shit here. Up in these mountains. I'm not living up there. Not with all my health issues. First time something go wrong, dog, they got to get a helicopter. Because who the hell going down that hill in the middle of a rainstorm? Who gonna do that? It's like, come on, dog. Let's be real about this, right? And I'm saying this to you guys, man, because there's a lot of you all that leave me comments about pricing and living and going here, going there. I'll tell you the same damn thing about Manila. I don't know why people love to fool you all and tell you all stuff without being honest. For example, I saw a video of a guy. He's in the country of Vietnam. He ain't in the major cities. He's living in a small pueblo. And he's telling you you can survive on $500. I don't doubt that in a small pueblo. But in a major city in Vietnam, fuck no. That's a lie. Just like anybody telling you here in the city of Medellin, you can live like a king on $1,500, $2,000. That's a lie. That is a lie. But if you want to go 2 hours outside of here, dog. Yeah. Absolutely, you can. Absolutely. They're like a damn harem if you want. You can pay somebody to just sit there and fan you all day. Cost you about $10. Being real. I'm being 100% real when I tell you that. TDIU was a godsend for me because I was losing my employer's benefits of $2,400 a month when I turned 65 because I couldn't work. Okay. Like I said, for some people, it could be a godsend if you're legitimately disabled. But if you can work, dog, I don't know why people want to limit their income if they can work. If I could go back and do what I do, man, ain't no way in hell I'd be here. Ain't no way. No way. It's cold in the mountains. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is. I'm not going to tell you it's not because it is. Yeah, there's certain spots here, man. The higher your elevation, yeah. Like you guys have seen videos of people like showing all these houses up in the mountains in different areas, right? I've been up there. It's cold. Even during the day, it's cold. When we went to San Pedro de la... God, I can't think of the name of the rest of that city. I know it's San Pedro. During the day, it's cold out. You need a jacket. There ain't many places here where I get cold because leaving like right now here at night, it's 62 degrees out. I got a fan going. So it takes a lot for me to get cold. When we went to San Pedro, you could tell as soon as we enter in the city, the temperature just dropped. Everybody there had the locals wearing jackets. So it's like, it's chilly when the locals got on jackets. Let's see. I'm going to need that stipend from you, Markel. My rent, let's just say around $500. Man, $500. Get out of here. What up, Mr. Steele? How you doing tonight? Man, I was just talking to Mike about this, and this is real talk. No BS. And if Lou was around, or Richie Rich, or even if you spoke Spanish and you could speak to Flaco in the Conde, he'll tell you this. And I told Mike about this earlier because Mike was telling me how he had won at a casino. This is real talk, ladies and gentlemen. No BS. And I wish I could put Lou on to tell you. I used to be able to pay my rent gambling in the DR, playing the lotto. I told you this before. They put a cap on me, dude, because I would win so much. They limit what I could bet. It used to take them sometimes 2 days to pay me. And we ain't talking about a whole lot. Like, if I would win 38 to $5,000, it would take them a couple days to pay me my money. So they just put a cap on me. Okay, the max you can bet $10 US on a parlay. Because I used to hit those parlays, dude. It was only 2 numbers. You hit the right 2 numbers, you betting $20, man, that's like 50, or at least it used to be, like 54 to 5,700 US dollars. Man, I used to pay my rent a couple months in advance. I'm just walking around chilling, pocket full of pesos. And then go bet later on or some more. Now, I didn't win every single time, but I won a hell of a lot more than I lost. Being real. At the boathouse, dude, there was those little lotto stands right in front of the boathouse. There was 3 different girls that worked there, 3 different shifts. They all knew who I was. I would sit there and they'd be counting out that money to me. Right? Man, it was rare for me to go to an ATM while I was in Boca Chica. That was a rarity. The only reason I would go to an ATM in Boca Chica is if I left the money I had in the room and the ATM was closer than the room. Then I would go to the ATM and just pull some money out. Other than that, no doubt. I'm making a killing. Hey, me and Lou used to sit there in the Conde on the far end, the nicer end, where the nicer restaurants are. There's like these little lottos all over the place. Just sit out there and play. Watch football on the tablet, betting on the lotto, winning. All right, cool. I'm up out of here. I'll see you tomorrow. Real talk, man. Then leave and go to the casino on the Malecon called Halagua. Go to that casino, dude. You know, probably blow half of it. Sometimes I would win. A lot of times I would just blow half of it and go back the next day and do it all over again. That's how easy it was in the DR. And the beauty part was there were no taxes being taken out. It didn't make a difference what I won. They were taking out no taxes. That was the best part. Now here in Colombia, nah, dog. Anything over $700, 20%. 20%. I won, how much did I win? I think I posted it. I did. I posted it in, was it the WhatsApp group or Facebook? I posted it on one of them. I won, was it 50? It was either 15 millones or 18 millones, which that's Colombian pesos, but in dollars, it was close to like $4,000, something like that. And they took 20% right off the top in taxes. So literally they took $800. In the DR, nothing. Here's your money. That's the one thing I missed about the Dominican Republic. All right, man. So I've been on rambling for about an hour. I'm going to drop this link real quick. See if anybody wants to jump on. I'm give it like 30 seconds, and then I'm going to go, man. I've been on just rambling. I'm trying to watch this game to see this team I betted on earlier is going to do something. Hopefully they will, and I can keep my winning streak going. But I had an awesome day today. Awesome day. Cannot complain. Cannot lie. Feeling good. Happy. Kids are happy. I sent them something today, early Christmas present. Everybody else was happy. So feeling good today. Hopefully I can duplicate it again one day. I don't know if it's going to be anytime soon. I'm going to get lucky enough to get a spread the way they had that spread. And for those who curious of what I'm talking about, go look up the spread between Colorado and TCU on Thursday. Not today, not yesterday, Thursday. Look at the spread between TCU and Colorado, and then times that times 300. Then you'll get an idea of what I won today. All right, guys. So if there's nothing else from anybody, I'm going to go ahead and get off. I appreciate everybody watching as always. And until the next Saturday, guys, hopefully we'll get some people on. It won't be too good of games. If not, I may have to change nights. Now, Sundays. What time is the game over on Sundays? Sunday Night Football. I can't remember what time the games are on Sunday Night Football. I guess I'll find out tomorrow. But anyway, though, again, I appreciate everybody watching as always. And until the next time, guys, I'm out of here. Peace. Enjoy the rest of your night.